Yeah, check 1 2, check 1 2. Is this mic on? Is this mic on? Hey, listen, man, it's the one and only trendsetter DJ Sense, and you're listening to Cocktales Dirty Discussions with Kiki and Medinah, Monroe. Yeah.
Today's cocktail is called Make That Pussy Pop. The ingredients you need: 1 bottle of rosé wine, 1 cup of limoncello, 1 cup of fruit juice. I used strawberry lime from Trader Joe's. 1 to 2 cups of any fresh fruit that you'd like. So in a pitcher or pan, combine the rosé, the limoncello, and fruit juice to create the sangria. Next, add 6 or 7 pieces of the fruit you chose to each compartment of your popsicle mold. Then fill each compartment with the sangria mixture, add the popsicle sticks, and freeze until frozen. If your mold has 10 compartments, you will have a bit of a sangria left. Enjoy it in a glass or a second popsicle mold. So once the popsicle molds are frozen, run some warm water over the molds to loosen them up. Remove the popsicles, enjoy them immediately, and that is Make That Pussy Pop. And they're actually really tasty. It's basically like an alcoholic popsicle. And if you don't want to suck on it, just get a cup and sit your popsicle in it. You can, let it melt a little bit and then sip on it as you please. It's a fun, nice summer drink. We're getting into the warm weather, the warm season.
I would put that in like some Prosecco. I think that would be good. Like in a nice little bubbly drink, put a little popsicle in there. Cause I'll drop it. Otherwise.
Oh, you'll be lit.
Anyway. Welcome back to Cocktales Dirty Discussions, you guys. How was your week and weekend?
My week and weekend have been good. I am really tired. It's funny because I set everything up to record and I laid on the couch and took like a 7-minute nap and it felt nice. You know when you try to rush and be like, go to sleep. But I had a pretty good
suck
weekend.
at that.
I really did.
What'd you do?
My little dick came into town.
A little dick. Okay.
Yeah, one of my little bae thing came into town and it was a lot of fun. I won't share too much about it on the show, but it is going to be, I'll have a cocktail as bonus content. So if you guys want to hear how that weekend went, make sure you join our Patreon. But we had a really fun weekend. I also went to Seltzerland with some of my friends, and it's like, I don't know if it's a new it's called Seltzerland. It's a seltzer festival.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a lot of fun. I saw some friends that I haven't seen in quite a long time. And the only thing I would say is a lot of people got sick afterwards because seltzer, first of all, I don't drink it like that. It's like the club soda stuff with alcohol in it. When I do drink it, it's just like we're at the pool and there's
with
no
like
more
a
liquor.
2 drops of alcohol. Yeah, it's like last resort.
Mm-hmm. Or it's just like really hot outside and you don't want to drink any more liquor and someone's just like a white person's like, hey, you want one of these Trulies? And you're like, yeah, sure, why not? But to go to a whole festival for it, bitch. First, Hannah got sick. We went to go eat afterwards. She had like a horrible headache and she was like, oh my gosh, I have a headache. We also did shrooms. So I didn't know if it was from that or the alcohol, but it was everyone that didn't even do the shrooms got these. You know how you get wine headaches?
You did the shrooms at the festival or after?
At the festival. And I don't think it did anything to me, but the seltzer, my head was banging so hard I couldn't even have sex. Well, technically I couldn't have sex because my period came and it was a bloody one. It was a mean period. You know when your period just comes.
Like the red wedding?
But the red wedding, and like anytime I put a tampon in, it was filled up within 5 minutes. I called my doctor. I'm scared. I'm still scared, actually.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. It's hard being a woman. I bled through like 3 pairs of pants, jeans. That's thick.
Oh. Well, I hope everything's okay.
Me too.
That's scary.
It was a lot.
Because usually when you have like a heavy ass period, something is amiss. Miscarriage, endometriosis, PCOS.
We shall.
Lots of things.
See.
To be continued?
Did
she call you back? Have you seen
yeah.
it?
She was like, we'll talk. I had already like kind of warned her about this. Like, she was like, do you have heavy periods? I was like, I do be having heavy periods, but it switches off. Sometimes it's heavy, sometimes it's not. She was like, let's pay attention to it. So yeah, I paid attention to it. But anyways, how was your week? How was home?
It was good. So my niece, is she my youngest? Yes. My youngest niece turned 3. Actually, yesterday on Monday, but she had a birthday party over the weekend, so I had a very busy weekend. I didn't even go out there until the day of the party. But it was so good to see her. This is the niece, you guys. I have talked about her before. Her name is Phoenix. She's really precious, but she used to be mean. And by mean, I mean she used to literally tell me to go away, go home, leave me alone. She was like very feisty. I don't know what switched in her brain and made her click and realize this is the fun auntie. This is the auntie I need. And I don't know, maybe it was her older sisters. But anyway, we had a great time. She had a good party. It was Easter themed. They had lots of like Easter egg hunt type games. She had a cake. My mom's gift that she got her was her favorite. So she got her a bike with a bunch of accessories, but a bike. So she was so excited, but she opened that gift first. So I guess everything because it was the best gift. Right. So her dad hid the bike in the garage. She was pissed. She came over to me and she was like, Kiki, bike gone. Come on. We're going to find it. And I was just like, I know where they put it. I want to get you your bike too. And I'm thinking like, okay, in 50 years, or really realistically 30 to 40 years, is she going to remember this when I didn't help her find her bike? When I need to find my walker and I'm in the nursing home? Because somebody was like, why are you making such a big deal about making it to all the birthdays? They're like young as fuck. Who the fuck is going to take care of me when I'm old? I'm not planning on having kids. This is it. So all the kids, I gotta be there for them. So when I get old, they'll be like, Auntie Diva took care of me. So anyway, it was good to do that.
Why don't y'all let her open the best gift first? That's supposed to be last.
Look, some people maybe... I'm not going to play the blame game, but when we showed up, that was the gift that was big and wrapped. Some people hadn't wrapped their gifts yet. Some people were ill prepared. So that wasn't even my gift, but I was just happy to see that she was happy. But that was fun. I got to see some of my really good friends, Sandra and Taylor, and hung out with them. We had some crawfish. That was really good. I also got to have a tarot reading from my sister. I have asked her so many times, will you do a bonus episode with me? Because Madison, she's my youngest sister from my mom, but not my youngest sister, but we're close. And I used to like feel very weird about our relationship because I'm so much older than her. And with the age gap, when I went away to college, she was so young. It's like she doesn't really remember much of me being home. Only I get to remember that. Mm-hmm. So I always try to like do more to make sure that we have a good relationship. So anyway, I feel like now she trusts me and she feels comfortable talking to me about stuff. And I love that so much. So she's really into a lot of what I call witch shit. Tarot cards being one of them. Mm-hmm. And so she gave me a reading. I did 2 questions and I was like, I want to ask her to do a bonus episode. Let's talk about like the tarot cards and I'll ask some questions. You can ask some questions for me, do something. But she's like, no, ma'am. And then I remembered I asked her to do a bonus episode before and she was like, oh, I really didn't think it through. Like, no, I don't feel comfortable. And I get it. Like, I mean, you know, you want to have your own identity. You don't want to be attached to this. I get it. So it was really cool. So I'm going to do another episode where I talk about it and I'll invite somebody else on who is open to talking about stuff like that. But the stuff she told me, I was just like, because when she did it, I didn't share my questions with her. Mm-hmm. She was like, I don't want to know it. I want you to keep it to yourself.
The card.
But I'm going to tell you, not the card. She read the cards, but it's like, think of a question. Ask a question. Shuffle the cards. Okay, so then she does whatever she does. She fans them out. Then she's like, pull however many cards. She did different types of stacks. Mm-hmm. And she's still learning. But she's like, she's doing these different types of stacks. So I pull out the cards. So she gives me her interpretation. I'm just like, So then at the end, she's like, does this resonate with you? And I was like, absolutely. I know you didn't ask because you're trying to have like some level of like privacy. So you don't feel like I don't feel like you're making stuff up. But this was my question. So do you see why it makes sense? She's like, wow. And she did it to my brother. And the craziest thing, and then we can move
crazy.
on. She pulled some cards for him. They did it multiple times. And the last time he pulled his own cards, he got the exact same cards she got. Isn't that scary?
That is, I love stuff like that. Love it.
It's so interesting. I'm just like, I want to read more about it tonight. So I took pictures of everything and I was like, I'm going to read more about the cards and see what this message really means. But I just love being home with my family, having some good time, and I will see them again in 2 days. So I'm looking forward to
2
it.
days?
2 days. So when y'all hear this, I'm going to be on a midnight train to Houston.
I love that. I love family stuff. Like,
we're celebrating life this weekend, girl. It's a baby shower.
Who's pregnant?
One of my friends, no relatives, but one of my really good friends. She's pregnant. She's having a baby shower. She's having a little girl. I'm so excited. And I want to see my dad too and my other sister. Hopefully nobody else is pregnant. Because I can only be happy for her right now. Everybody else is just like, bitch, pregnant, what?
Do you know your daddy?
Not right now.
Do you know the daddy? Oh, that's one of my worst fears, to get pregnant and it's between two niggas. And I'm like, I don't know. I always wonder, like, do some bitches ever just be like, I'm just going to tell him he's the dad because I really want him to be the dad, and you just don't actually.
Not that I've had personal experience from it, but you can get a DNA test before the baby is born.
Oh, I bet that hurts.
It probably does. I don't know the risks involved or what it feels like, but you can definitely get a DNA test before the baby is born. So if any of our listeners happen to be in a predicament and you really just don't want to face the music, look into it because it's possible.
Ooh, that's a rough one. Are you ready for summer? You have your bathing suits ready?
Well, I gotta get waxed. But other than that, I am ready for summer. I'm excited for it. I sat outside to eat my food and I was trying to get some more color. I've been working hard on it.
Not that when brown girls go outside, we get the color quickly. I went outside yesterday up at the rooftop to my pool, but I didn't put a bathing suit on. I didn't realize it was so hot yesterday. I thought it was still gonna be chilly, but I needed some vitamin D.
How hot was it? Like today?
It was like today. Like
today was pretty toasty.
Yeah, I laid out. Hannah and my friend Nate, who were up there, and it felt good to lay in the sun. I'm ready for this summer. My body isn't.
I can't wait.
But
well,
my mind
that's
is.
Fixable. The mind is more important.
Yeah, and the liver.
What's wrong with your body?
You know, it's gained a little quarantine pounds, couple little quarantine LBs.
Nothing that's so wrong or a robe can't fix. You know, I love a good robe.
I'm gonna have to hide that little fupa. I got a high tie, knot in the front.
Get high-waisted bottoms and call it a day. And get out there. We're not gonna let no fupas hold anybody back from a good summertime. Tan, relaxation,
come on,
pool day, none of that.
That was a word.
We can't let it hold us back. Fuck anybody who got a problem with it. This is my body, and this is what you getting.
Do you want it or not?
Okay. The answer is probably always going to be yes. Speaking of which, we got a little word from the sponsors. So here's a little message that maybe some of you girls can relate to. And you should buy a shirt that says so. So my weight is none of your concern unless I'm sitting on your face.
Oh.
Get that tea and more just like that at theidentityofshe.com. And if you use code cocktail, no S at the end, just cocktail, you get 25% off. So that's theidentityofshe.com for 25% off t-shirts. They got a bunch of graphic tees with like fun little sayings like that. So check them out.
I need to get me one. Can we use the code too?
Absolutely. Why not?
Come through.
Because I want one. Maybe I'll hand it out to some friends. Because that is a good message. My weight, this is like a scripture. Cocktails, chapter 2, verse 3. My weight is none of your concern unless I'm sitting on your face.
And smothering you.
Period.
Then it might be a concern because, you know, I don't.
The doors to my pussy are open. Please come up and bring your offerings, okay?
Ooh, how much are you supposed to put in an offering? 10% of your check? 20?
No. So
Tithes?
there's
Are
tithes
and
and offering
I
is
didn't grow up in
different.
church.
Yeah. So, okay. So the
what?
thing that they do at church, that was my joke. The doors to the church are open. Please come up to the altar. So that's like when you want to profess your love for Christ. So I was talking about professing my love for my pussy. But for your offering, you give, a love offering, whatever your heart desires. But the tithes are a percentage of your income, like taxes.
Okay. I want the tithe and
So
the
you're
offering.
supposed to pay your tithes. It keeps you a member of the church and all this other stuff. My granddaddy was fussing at me. He was like, you need to start paying your tithes. And
you
I
don't
didn't
pay
have
your
the heart
tithes?
No, he pays them for me.
Oh, well, at least, they're coming out from somewhere.
But I was like, I didn't know you were paying them for me. You pay the tithes
He's saving
so
the
that you
line
continue
to the pearly
to be
gates.
so that you can continue to be an active member of a church. But I'm like, Daddy, stop paying it. Please stop paying it because unnecessary. Keep your money, baby. Keep your money. But he said no.
Speaking of God and Jesus and all the holy things, I gotta just shout out to God real quick because Kiki, as we get older women, we have this obsession with candles. I don't know about you. I thought you was 68.
Not today, baby. I'm 22. I went back to Texas and reset. I was hanging out with the young people, okay? My brother 19, my sister 21. She told me she was born what year? 99. I'm born in 99 too.
Oh, 99 in the 2000s. Oh, y'all
No
young
2000,
today.
bitch. 99.
I am old today.
Okay. So what's going on with you?
Someone sent me some candles, and I told the company I'm not gonna bring attention to it because I really could have a whole lawsuit. So you know how when you're burning the candle,
Why?
Girl, there was a whole fire in my apartment today, and it was the most terrifying thing I have. It's enough to I think I'm done with candles. You know how candles, I don't know what the safety feature is on there, but when they burn down to the bottom, they normally just fizzle themselves out when they get to that round bottom of the wick metal part. You look at the candle and it's done. Well, I was working.
It doesn't have that?
I don't really know what it had. The candle was burning. I was working. I heard this loud pop. And I thought that somebody just hit my door with something. I was like, let me go look real quick. So I go to look, bitch. It's a whole flame on my dresser about to catch onto my painting that is very flammable, and then my lamp. And then it caught onto my mail because my mail was sitting there. Karen, when I tell you, I was like, oh my God. For a minute, I was like, oh my God.
Where's your fire extinguisher?
I didn't even think about that, bitch. And I have a whole fire extinguisher under my sink that the apartments come with. I get a cup of water, bro. I pour the water on there. I thought you just don't put fire on electrical fires. I poured the fire on there. The fire got bigger.
The water.
I had two cups. I actually have this cocktails glass, slight plug, and then another.
And it had a little bit of liquor in it?
No, I don't think.
Oh.
I don't think so.
Was it clean or was it waiting to go into the dishwasher?
It was in the sink. It definitely wasn't a clean. I just grabbed what I could. And then it said, and there was glitter pieces. You know how people are getting fancy with the candles now? They might need to go back to basic candles. So I poured the other glass on there and then it went out. But bitch, my heart was racing because the only thing I could think of was, what if I would have left to go walk shy really quick? It's a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
I know it's irresponsible. You should blow it out, but I normally don't do that. And I want to come back and it would have been a fire. And I was like, they better be glad this wasn't, if it was Yankee candles, oh bitch, I would have even put my elbow in there a little bit just to get burned a little bit on my body. I would have had a whole lawsuit and I would have been a millionaire. But it was terrifying. Yeah.
You gonna burn your elbow?
If it was Yankee.
I was with you up until that part.
If it was the Yankee.
How long you think it's gonna take to get your settlement, Medinah? These things take time. It's not like you sue or you cash out on Friday, bitch. You're gonna have this busted up elbow.
It was terrifying. It was terrifying. I contacted the company and
that's scary.
It was definitely.
What they say?
She was she sent me a voice message back. You can send the voice messages on Instagram. She was like, oh my gosh, I want to apologize. Is there anything I could do? And I really did want to say, you could buy me a new dresser. But I was like, there's really nothing you can do. Let's be honest. Your company's not that big. There's nothing you can do. I just wanted to let you know because you might want to relax on whatever it is. You might want to test the candles out.
How are you just going to sell yourself short like that? You don't know what that lady got. What if you could have got a new dresser? Her company ain't that big, but you don't know how much they got.
Maybe I'll revisit that.
I mean, I'm not trying to get you to fuck somebody else's life over, but if your dresser is fucked up, there is something you can do. My dresser is damaged, or file a renter's insurance claim. Maybe you could do that. I don't know. But good luck. I'm glad you're okay.
Me too. So thank you, God, for looking out, because
it could have been bad.
It could have been really bad. And it was right at the front door. Could you imagine if I had to tie a sheet on my patio and slide down holding my dog?
No. I cannot. I would be like, what the fuck? Imagine driving down the highway and you see somebody scaling the side
falling.
Of an
Let's be
apartment
honest.
building.
Falling. I would have been
and
falling.
How many sheets you got to get down?
Right?
You're going to go down to Hannah's apartment.
And then you got to make sure you tie it tight enough. Like, I would just have been, oh, Jesus,
oh, yeah.
Thank you.
When they do it on the movies, it looks easy, but that's just simply not realistic. Okay. Let's see. What else? Maybe that was it. Okay. So we can go ahead and move on to weird sex.
You said a man is not a necessity, a man is a luxury.
Like dessert. Yeah. A man is absolutely not a necessity.
Did you mean that to sound mean and bitter?
Oh, not at all. I adore dessert. I love men. I think men are the coolest. But you don't really need them to live.
So you guys, this week for weird sex, I wanted to tell you about a tale of somebody who was getting too much tail. So there was a woman in Taiwan who had to let her man know she is not one to be fucked with, okay? He was cheating.
Ooh.
In what capacity? Not sure. But whatever it was, sis didn't like it. She took some kitchen shears, snipped off 1/2 inch of his dick, flushed it down the toilet so that he could not reattach it. Because that's what they'll do. If it's still there, they'll try and reattach it. She was like, no. You just want to put the tip in. I'm going to take the tip off.
Oh, sis.
And, it was very bloody. She got some charges of aggravated assault. He was crying. He went to the hospital. They were able to close it up and everything. He's still alive. He didn't bleed out or anything, but they obviously couldn't attach a stick. So maybe they're going to take a piece of his thumb. I know that they can do that. But he's upset. And so is she. But one thing's for sure, he won't be putting the tip in anything else.
That's mean. Oh, his dick. Because then did she cut the mushroom part off?
Yeah.
Or side of his dick? What?
Well, it depends on how long it was, because I don't know. They were Taiwanese. I don't know.
And then
how
I wonder,
much
was
dick
he
he had left,
asleep?
but his balls were okay. He was asleep. She snipped it off. He woke up in agonizing pain, is what my sources tell me.
That nigga sleeps hard. I wake up if anyone just even moves in the bed. I'm waking up.
But if she has some good kitchen shears, she only took the tip off, so if she just does one thing, that's going to wake you up. But it's gone already. It's already snipped. It's not like she's got to do
that is evil.
Connect the dots.
I mean, yeah, I'll be upset if
Lorena Bobbitt, Taiwanese style. Anyway, thank you guys, because 50 million people sent me the story. I saw it a bunch of times, and I said, this bitch is crazy, and I love it. It's perfect for weird sex. So I do not think that that's what y'all should do. But I also don't think people should be trying crazy girls. You know your girl was crazy before that happened.
You knew your girl was crazy. I had a friend of mine tell me that literally over the weekend. We were having a little cheating scandal.
That she was crazy?
And she was like, I don't know why this nigga is doing me like this. She was like, I'm a hood bitch. She was like, I've come a very long way. She's a successful person now, but she said, I will go back to my ways. And I was like, please don't, because you're going to jail. Please. But when you know you have a crazy woman on your hands, you better be able to hide shit very well, or just don't do it, or get a divorce. If you can't, refrain from cheating, you just can't fight the urge, gentlemen. She gonna take your money, or she gonna take the tip of your dick?
Or both. All right. Well, that's it for Weird Sex. Remember, if you guys see something and you think it would be great for the show, DM it to me or email it to me at info@kikisaidso.com. And now we can move on.
This week, you guys, we are talking about exclusive versus dating. How do you know? Are there rules? Where does the confusion come from? Because my bitch ass be confused. I don't know about you, Kiki, but every now and again,
What are you
put that
confused
freaking
about?
dress on. Well, I love Beyonce. You know, shout out to her and Jay. You know, they just celebrated their anniversary. Shout out. I wish I knew that.
Hey, girl. Like she listening.
So I wanted to read the definition of exclusive. So restricted or limited to the person, group, or area concerned. It sounds very negative when you look at the words.
Wait, say it again. Why does it sound negative?
Restricted or limited to
it's
person?
limited, bitch. It's exclusive.
Maybe
it ain't for everybody.
The word restricted is just giving me a negative. It makes me feel uncomfortable. Restricted. I feel tied down, locked down. There's tape over my mouth. Handcuffs are on my wrist. No?
Mm-mm. It means like don't be talking to everybody. Simple as pie.
Don't be. I mean, I'm not saying I don't get it. I do get it. But when I was looking at it on paper, I was just like, wow, it seems so negative. I felt like a man. I feel like exclusivity scares men.
I think it scares a lot of people. Sometimes if you're talking about being exclusive too soon, hold on, I'm not done weighing my options yet. And it's like, whether I'm dating somebody or not, I still got the option of me. Do I want to be checking in? No. Do I want you all up in my business and feeling like you are supposed to know where I'm going? Why are you going to Texas again? Nigga, because I want to. So it's like, do I really want to be in an exclusive relationship right now? I don't know, because that's what comes with it. You don't, that person, you have to talk to them. You have to tell them things. You're checking in. You're doing these things because it's y'all together.
Though, I feel like it only feels like checking in when you don't want to be exclusive with that person. Like, I feel like
it feel like checking in.
When
I'm telling you where I'm going, who I'm with. Times
voluntarily
dates.
Though, like it's not like you
that's still checking in. I don't like it.
You enjoy it though. Like when I'm
exclusive
with
you
somebody,
enjoy it.
You don't like just being like, hey baby, like I'm doing this tonight. Call you when I get back, and then you get home and you're like, hey babe, I'm home. It's not like I made it here. Here's where I'm at. Like I only do that if I really don't like you.
If it comes up in conversation, we on FaceTime. I'm in the car drunk somewhere. Oh, what you doing? I'm about to go meet some friends for drinks. Okay. But it's like, so I'm going to call you later. Well, I'll be busy. Well, where are you going? What time are you going to be there? When you coming back? Where are you going? Who you going with? Hold the fuck up. That's when, so it's not really fun to me. I don't mind sharing some details, but no, I don't like it.
I only don't like it if I don't really like you, or if I know that I'm actually lying about something. Then I'm mad. And I'm mad like it ain't my fault. Like, why this nigga keep asking me? Probably because the nigga know you lying, bro. That's the only time it gets on my nerves to be like, this is where I'm going, this is what time, because I don't want to forget what I said when I do get back home. But if I'm like in bliss with you,
gotta
and
remember
your
lie.
You gotta remember your line, sis. But if everything's good, I want to tell you all the things. And if you actually aren't asking me where I'm going, or hey baby, did you make it home? I might have an attitude. I might really be upset and be like, do you not care? What if I would have died tonight?
Well, what was he gonna do?
Well, it's funny that you say that, because I am awkward. I like to talk to people about like death and stuff. And this past weekend,
on a date.
Not on a date, but like after sex, or like when we're about to go to sleep, because you don't know if you're gonna wake back up. So after sex with my one and only partner, I was like, hey, if something were to happen to me, like I died while we were sleeping, and you had to call the ambulance and stuff, like, would you go to the hospital with me? And he was like, what are you talking about? Like, what is wrong with you? I was like, I just want to be very like clear. I don't want you to just call the ambulance and send me on my way. I want you to take the responsibility in coming with
when you're
me.
dead?
like if I died or if like something happened and I was unconscious, and I also want you to make sure you directly talk to my mom and my sister. I don't want them to be like, what happened? I want you to be able to share the story and tell them like who you were to me. I just want to make sure we're on the same page. And he was like, yeah. I was like, because there are some people in this world when stuff happens, they might call the police, but they're not going to go through it with you. They're just going to be like, all right, yeah, this is her. Her name is such and such. And like, I've never been in that situation before, but I'm sure people do.
Obviously, you're still alive.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I am.
You ain't died.
But I just wanted to make sure we were on the same page with like the caring about each other part. Like, you would ride to the hospital with me, right? You would talk to the police and like let them know in detail what happened and then call my mom and my sister. You want their number now or like what? He was like, I would definitely do that for you, first of all. And second of all, I don't need their number right now. I'm pretty sure I would be able to find it. And I wouldn't just like leave you dead hanging. And I was like, okay. Whew. Who wants to be dead hanging? Like, he treated you, he left you hanging in real life, but that nigga left you hanging dead. The police are just like, is this like, do you know her? He's like, no, like, I don't. We just
Bitch, you did. What you gonna do?
I'll haunt you for the rest of your years. I will haunt you. I'm haunting your kids. I'm haunting everybody. I'm making life a living hell for you.
Oh, okay. Well, you guys, we decided to talk about this because we had met last week and we were going over different topics for the show, and there was a viral tweet that happened. So I was just trying to find the tweet. I thought I screenshotted it, but I take too many screenshots of memes because shit on the internet is funny. Mm-hmm. Anyway, the tweet basically said, it was from a girl, and she said that she was on a date and she saw this other guy that she was dating while she was out on a date with another man. He said nothing, did nothing, whatever. The next day, he hit her up with a planned out date, and he took her on the date and showed her, without saying like this is why, but he basically showed her through planning this date after seeing her with another man, this is why I'm the main nigga you talking to. Now, she was like, I am not exclusive with any of these guys. I'm just casually dating these guys. But even when you're casually dating somebody, you typically have somebody that you like more. And he likes her more too. And so he was just showing, I understand. We haven't had that conversation about being exclusive. We're not exclusive. So I'm not going to try and blow your spot up, act the ass, none of that shit. But a lot of people who were retweeting and commenting on her tweet were saying how wrong she was. And I'm like, wait a minute.
What's wrong?
Since when? And I think sometimes the words that people use get things confused. But if you're not in a relationship, whatever you want to call that relationship, if you haven't had that conversation or you guys haven't both decided that it's just you, why not date other people if you want to? Nobody's claiming anybody.
And unfortunately, you can't just assume because you're always at his house or you met his mama. A lot of bitches be meeting niggas' mamas, and y'all still.
I'd have met a lot of mamas.
Me too. And a lot of people have met my mom. I just really love my family, and we're close. So it's not like you're meeting them because you're somebody that is super duper special and we're getting married. I'm just, especially if I'm home, it's like you coming in the house to say hi to my family unless I'm ashamed of you.
I don't want anyone meeting my family if I'm not serious about them, because as close as I am to my family, they're going to constantly bring him up. They're going to constantly ask about him. And some people might try to make jokes. And maybe my new nigga ain't a joking nigga. Don't be making jokes calling him the last nigga's name. Like, that ain't cool.
Put some
mama.
respect on my
out.
nigga name.
Well, you just won't meet him until it's super serious. Like when we talk about rings, for real, not just trying on the rings, but it's serious. I might even already be engaged. It's a little untraditional, but I don't care. No. Because I don't. My family likes to make jokes, and it's a funny family. And unless my nigga is a really funny guy, can really take the jokes. For some reason, God keeps handing me sensitive niggas, and I don't know what that is.
Maybe he's trying to tell you something. Maybe he's like, you need a little sensitivity, just a sprinkle.
No, because I drop them. So, I mean, maybe, but I don't like that quality. So, anyway, yeah, I don't let them meet my family for real. You'll meet some friends. If you make it past that level and you graduate to the next, then you can meet some more friends. But I kind of have it figured out in my mind, like, which level you get to meet certain people before you get all the way in. And if you ain't met nobody, don't you screw your face up to tell me you thought we were exclusive. You don't even know anybody in my life. Like,
You don't
just
even know who I
here.
really am. You don't know
You don't know
me.
anything about me. You don't know about my friends. You don't know about my family. If I care about you, you're going to meet people. So if you're listening to this and you're wondering, why did I meet her friends? I don't fuck with you like that. So...
Wow.
And I probably told you that, but you didn't believe me. So now you know.
Dang.
But that is a part of like being exclusive or trying to figure out if you want to be exclusive with somebody. Like, what are you like with my family and with my friends? Because they're probably not going anywhere.
It is like sometimes have you ever met somebody where like early on, you know that you really like them a lot. And they haven't, maybe they haven't met anybody around in your circle yet just because it's so early, but you know that you wouldn't mind being in a relationship with them. You feel it.
But that's because it's early. But if it's been time, like if you've been around for 6 months and you ain't met none of my friends, you need to reevaluate what you thought I said. You didn't hear me.
So you would say that's a flag of like, you are not exclusive. There should be no assumption here. If you ain't met anybody in my circle, unless the person doesn't have a lot of friends, then I get it. But
I don't have a lot of friends in Atlanta, but I got friends. If you ain't met no fucking body, nah. You would meet at least 1 or 2 people. You might not meet my family in Atlanta. No. That's gonna take longer.
When is the last time you have been exclusive with just one dude? Or do you prefer just dating? Some people don't like being exclusive.
A year ago.
Did you
a little
enjoy
over
it?
A year ago. It was fun some days, and some days not so much. Some days his number was blocked and I didn't want to be reached. And then other days it was fun. Like, let's go here, let's go there, let's go have some fun. So it just kind of
that's when
depends.
you have this secret boyfriend that I still to this day, never knew who it was.
I mean, Medinah, we weren't hanging out, so it's not like people who I was actually hanging out with on a regular basis, they saw him, they met him, they were around, but we weren't doing that. So it was just like, if I'm not going to talk about it on the show and that's when we talk, we won't, I don't want to share that. But
how long were y'all dating? Exclusively
for about, it was just months, like 4 or 5 months. Because it started, let's see, this is 2021. So it started in 2019, towards the end of 2019. And then it ended sometime around this time, like springtime. I remember it was after quarantine had started. Or was starting. It gets kind of gray because all of last year is just so fucking fuzzy. It's just like a big blur. I can't even get the months in order. But I remember stuff started shutting down. Trips got canceled. We had gone and done some things out of town together. And then we came back and then it was like we were trying to go eat somewhere. The restaurant was closed. Shit started closing down. Yeah, it was a crazy time. But to answer your question about being exclusive, sometimes it was cool and sometimes it wasn't. It kind of just depended on the day, one, and then also like how things, like just, I can be moody, but then also like he was moody too. That's why it wasn't a good match. But when we were together,
was he a Virgo?
He was not. But when we were having a good time, it was good. But if he was having a bad day, it might not be so fun to be exclusive because he was also very jealous. And that was like a big issue. So it's like when you're constantly questioning me or you're feeling extremely insecure for no reason, my nigga, I'm asleep. We went out last night. I got fucked up. I went home. I want to go home, be in my own damn bed, be alone. you still want to go out and hang out, go ahead. I'm not stopping you from that. But when you call me later and I don't answer, I'm recovering by sleeping. Don't think I'm on a date. Like, oh my God, calm down. It's just weird.
Yeah.
When was the last time you were exclusive with someone?
I mean, it's really weird because right now I would technically say I'm exclusive. And I met this guy May of
But are you open to dating other people?
I'm slowly becoming not. But it's only because I really don't feel the need to share my time with anybody. There's no like pressure to be like, we need to only fuck with each other. But I also don't want to. In the beginning, it kind of was like, I'm still going to do my thing and like do what I do. But now it's like, when you read that tweet or summarized the tweet of what we talked about at lunch, the guy who kind of was like, I don't need to really say anything if you deal with somebody else. Let me show you why you fuck with me. He gives that kind of energy. When I was dealing with the other guy who I talked about a couple episodes ago, who I spent a little bit of Valentine's Day with him. I'm very honest. We have a very open line of communication. And when I told him that, he didn't get upset. He didn't do anything. He just kind of like came harder with the things that he does. And then he was like, hey, whatever happened to that guy? And I was like,
what guy?
I don't know what happened to him.
Oh, I forgot about his ass. I guess he fell by wayside. I don't know. Can't keep up. Can't take the heat. Get the fuck out of the kitchen.
He's not like I'm gonna get jealous. He's like, oh, you playing with these lame niggas. Let me show you why you like me again. So, like I said, it's weird because I don't know. It's weird, but I would say right now I'm just dealing with one person. I can't remember the last time I fucked somebody else.
Oh.
So, but if we're talking about like boyfriend, girlfriend, and I'm bringing
not
you
boyfriend,
around,
but like dating, not just fucking, but like
it would
dating.
be 6'8" bae. It would be 6'8" bae, and that situation ended in an interesting way because as soon as I met him, I knew I wanted to be exclusive only to him, and I think it's crazy that when a woman feels that way, you can't say that out loud to a man, or they kind of. You really can't even say it out loud to anyone because people look at you like you're crazy. Like, girl, stop. But when men do that, when men are like, I knew she was the one when I first laid eyes on her, even if they tell you or tell his friends, it's romantic. It's like, oh my gosh, that's so sweet. He knew. I always think that contradiction is not fair because I be sounding crazy.
Because that's how you feel?
And niggas don't be sounding crazy when they do it. It's like, if he knows, you're going to be his wife. If you know, you're crazy. Like... I don't really get it. Why can't a woman
It's a conversation for another day. We should go into a conversation about that. Why does that sound crazy? Because I personally have some thoughts about why it sounds crazy.
We would need
from
a man
woman
on that one.
No, but I want to talk about why it sounds crazy when women say it. Because I'm a woman who thinks that should be sounding crazy when people say it. And the summary is, you say it, but you're not going to do anything about it. A man will
like
do
buy
something
a ring
about
and propose.
It. Yes. So a man will have some action behind that. So it's like when a woman says it, typically if a woman says it, oftentimes she has said it about multiple people. So it's like every time you date somebody, you think it's the one. Okay, girl, it don't hold no weight, especially because nothing has come of it. When a man says it, even if he gets turned down, he still went through the steps. And he typically, unless he's just doing some lying shit in the beginning, but if he's talking to his boys and he's like, I think she's the one, it usually comes with something. So yeah, women do sound crazy when they say that because they don't say it about the one. They say it about lots of ones.
You can
and
have
when guys
a lot
do
of
it,
the ones. I just want to put that out there. If you've ever
you
said
can't.
It before.
It's
you can
one.
Have at least
it's one.
5 a year,
Medinah.
Or
you can have
3.
lots of the men that you fucking with.
And
no,
if it was last year of quarantine, you could have 4.5.
No, it's the one. So you get one. Otherwise, it's them boys. So if you got them boys, the men, whatever, then you got multiple. But the one is the one. So it's just like,
the 3.
Be careful with who, or you can't count. So
or it's 3. No, but I do think that when that is a whole other discussion for another day. But I think that being
is interesting though. How people feel about it versus man versus woman.
It is.
But when people are exclusive, what?
And then when women see another woman propose to a man, because we've all seen it, we're like, she crazy as hell.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
Would you? Never. Fuck no. Even if I do say you the one, you goddamn right. I'm not
I just
no
feel like it's setting
it.
the wrong precedent. That's the main reason. No. I'm not. No. No. Let me write that down for our weekly meeting. That could be another thing. Why aren't we the ones who are trying to drive the relationships, whether it be marriage?
Because we don't know how to drive.
I know how to drive. Hold on. A car.
that is, I get it. I'll say my thing and play the devil's advocate, but I don't think it would be right if women were the hunters.
I mean, I personally don't want to. I was just joking. I have no desire, and that's why I don't want to do any.
Come rescue me.
Well, I ain't no in distress, but I will say I do think when you're a woman and you start taking charge too much in a relationship, it fucks things up if you don't want to be that way the whole time. So it's like, even if that is how you are normally, dial that back, because they always gonna feel like you got it. And if you don't want to always got it, don't do
stop.
it. Mm-hmm. Damsel in distress. I'm writing that down. Yep. It's another topic.
That is another topic. I wonder if any of our listeners are in marriages where the woman proposed. I would love to
if y'all have a story like that, please send it to us. Cocktales@atl@gmail.com. We'd love to hear your stories. And just also like your feedback on what you think about the stuff that we're talking about. We don't really get a lot of emails like that, but if you guys want to send those in, you don't necessarily have to send advice or cocktails, but if you just want to say your 2 cents, or if what we've ever talked about or what we're talking about the week of, and you want to chime in, but you want to be anonymous, send it in. We read them.
We still don't know who you are, though.
Well, we will, but the rest of the people won't. Like if they comment on YouTube, other people know they cheating on their husbands. But we'll keep the secret.
Yeah, we got you. So talking about being exclusive, it does make me wonder, how do you have that conversation? Because it's a really thin line. Also, when women bring up, wanting to be exclusive, it can be too soon. It can be, we already blurred these lines. No, like, how do you think that conversation can be had in a clear way?
Honestly,
it's hard.
It is hard, but you just have to do it. When you feel it, if it hasn't happened already, give yourself 2 to 3 business days. If it hasn't happened, you go ahead and have it, because guess what? At the end of the day, you may not like the results of your conversation. You may have the conversation, he tell you sweating him, you doing too much or whatever. Well, guess what? Y'all aren't on the same page. So it's better for you to cut your losses than to continue to hold out for somebody who's not feeling you like you're feeling them. And that's life. It happens. So like, don't get so stuck on, I don't want to push him away, when he might not even be trying to push you away. He might not be thinking about your ass. So I do think it's good to go ahead and be honest, no matter how much people may tell you, just wait. It's only so much waiting you can do. If you're starting to get aggravated, irritated, or uncomfortable in a situation, or you're just feeling confused because you feel like you're in a relationship and y'all haven't had that talk, you need to have it to make sure you're on the same page. Because if you don't, you're going to be having issues with unmet expectations. You're thinking that he should do certain things, he should be there for things, or she should be there for things, and she's not. But y'all never had that conversation. You got to talk to each other about where you are, what you're doing, and where you're at. And if you met on some, we're just having fun shit, but your feelings change, it probably is, I'll be honest, it probably is going to ruin it if he hasn't changed his mind, or if the other person hasn't changed their mind. But you still need to be upfront and honest, because why are you so busy trying to keep somebody around who doesn't want what you want? You have to remind yourself of that. I don't usually do that, but in my reflections after the shit don't work out and I be calling people drunk crying, that's what I come to. So I'm just telling you, as the hurt girl who has gone through it and let things last for too long that shouldn't, you should have those conversations. Go ahead and get them out the way because you could cut some losses early, or he might be, on the off chance, he might be feeling how you're feeling. And he's like, I don't want her to feel uncomfortable because we both said this was just some fun shit, but I'm really feeling her. But I don't want to push her away. Like, imagine what a love story that would be. And I've seen some that have ended up with marriage. They got babies. They're happy. They don't be complaining about each other. They still give each other space. I mean, beautiful marriages that I've seen with young people under 40.
Under 40.
Yeah, because it ain't. I'm not talking about old school shit where sweep everything under. Talking about us.
Yeah, those conversations are important, and then you'll look back if you have the conversation and it doesn't go how you want it to go. You will look back a couple months down the line and be like, "Dang, I'm so glad that I didn't just stick it out and hope that I would become his girlfriend. We had the conversation and we cut it off soon, and nobody's feelings are really that hurt. You might feel it for a couple of weeks,
but you already found somebody else.
Yeah.
Or something else to do. Charge your vibrator. It was getting dusty.
I was so glad that, remember I told you that dude and I didn't sleep with him. And I was glad that I did.
From Valentine's?
Because had I, and it really didn't turn into anything, and I don't want to really be putting no more bodies under my belt if it's not going to be something. That's good. And it felt really good to, at first I was like, dang, like, is that all you wanted from me? I still don't know, but I was glad to look back on that and be like, well, I didn't share my juices with you.
You ain't get it, though.
You ain't get it, though. Do you really even exist? Like, you didn't get these draws.
No, but it doesn't count. It does not count.
It was good to have those grown-up conversations. Do you think you can have them too soon? Like, do you think when people go on dates and they're like, hey, this is what I'm looking for, I want to be exclusive with someone?
Yes. That has happened to me before. So I went on a date with this guy many moons ago, obviously. And he resurfaced recently. And I couldn't remember him all the way, but I kept trying to remember, like, what happened on our date. First date. This nigga is talking about he want to get married in the church. His daddy is a preacher and he wants to follow in his footsteps.
But to that nigga, good thing he got it out the way because there is somebody for him. And y'all realized it wasn't you probably very early on.
I said it wasn't me, but this is what I'm saying. You need to cut your losses when people tell you this ain't it. So when I told him no, he was still trying to keep going. No, I'm telling you, I hear you, and I'm not even going to explain to you why the things that you're saying are probably not ever going to work out, but this isn't a match for me. So once somebody lets you know, I hear what you want, I'm receiving it, I can't be that, I don't want to be that, what the fuck you still here for?
Now let's say, switch gears
Hogging the hookah. Okay.
Baby, pass me the hookah. You do want to be exclusive. Do you have any expectations?
I don't have a lot of expectations. With exclusivity, if we being exclusive, I expect that. I would like to have an open conversation about, like, okay, we decide we're going to be in a relationship. What does that mean to you? Because some niggas feel like they can be in 50 relationships. I need to know this is a one-on-one thing, right? I need to also have I need to feel like I can trust you already before we have the conversation, but I do want to talk about it. I want to know if there's anything that they've been, like, wondering about. Like, maybe, like, I don't know what it could be, but maybe, like, I have somebody who calls me a lot and they're like, who is that?
Are y'all really
what is that relationship? Or not. Yeah. Like, I want to be able to put that kind of stuff on the table, and I want to feel comfortable to be able to ask him that. So I want to be able to walk into an exclusive relationship once we get to that once we get to that point. I want to feel like we can both, like, talk and be open. Let me think. What else? I also want to know, when's the last time you had unprotected sex with somebody other than me? If it was me. Because I need to know what if my boyfriend got a baby on the way? I would like to know, is that a possibility? Is that a thing? So, like, outside of STDs and stuff, people can still have babies. That takes time. So it's like, okay, we can decide we're going to be exclusive. We can have a date at the doctor's office and get tested. Everything comes back fine, right? You think you're free and clear. 4 to 6 6 weeks later, you hear from this girl who he used to fuck with, and she talking about she pregnant. Well, hold on now. We didn't talk about this. So that's just something that I've been seeing become more and more popular.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to ask about it. Like, and I want to know, and I need you to be honest with me. Because honestly, I'm not dealing with that. And then what else? I just need us to be on the same page. However we define our relationship, I don't give a fuck what anybody else thinks. I want us to be on the same page. It does not have to be a traditional situation, but I want us to feel comfortable enough to talk about it, and I want us to actually talk about it. What about for you?
That's one of my key things is transparency. I have learned that in my relationships, the transparency be one-sided. And I don't like that. I want you to be able to.
You're the transparent one.
Very. And I mean, that does come easy for me. There are some things that are sometimes tough to talk about, and maybe something has to happen for it to come out. But I will let you really know how something has affected me. And I would like it, if we're going to be exclusive, for my man to be the same way. Like, let me know some of your triggers if you can before
that's
they
a
happen.
good one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one.
You know, things that make you sad. If you have some daddy issues going on, or like it's not always.
I definitely need to have already known about your family situation.
Mm-hmm. Another key thing for me is like making sure like we have each other, like we have each other's back. Times aren't always just going to be good. Also, do you want to be a married person? Do you want kids? Because those are things that I want, and I try not to bring those things up so soon, but I am getting older, and I need to know if I need to freeze my eggs or not. So I do it.
Girl, I've been trying to bring that up early because I think, and it's probably harder for you than it is for me.
Oh, because you don't want kids.
Right. So, like, I have no desire on being pregnant or giving birth. I don't mind having kids, but I don't want to physically have kids, is what I mean when I say that. So that's like a big deal to guys. A lot of guys, they want you to be pregnant. They want you to have their baby, no matter how many other babies they have out in the world. And so I just like to let them know up front where I stand with that, because I'm pretty solid in how I feel about it. And I haven't been wavering for like 25 years. So I just like to let them know that. So it's like, this is what it is. And I understand if that's not a match for you, but I want to let you know. So I can only imagine what that must feel like if you feel like you have to keep it inside for a while.
I don't feel like I have to keep it inside for a while. I'm just not the type to like sit down and be like, hey, I want to make sure you have.
So when do you usually have that convo?
Kids. It normally just comes up randomly in conversation. I've never met someone who didn't want to have kids until 6'8" Bay, and he had a vasectomy, and that was a lesson learned because he said he would reverse it. And my mom had told me from the jump, Medinah, when a man has a vasectomy, they really meant it.
He's serious.
Like, they're serious. Like that's a
because they don't ever want to do it. They want us to do it.
But that was also an example of he lied. We went to go look at wedding rings. He said, I care about you so much that I will get this reversed. But that's a lesson learned. That shit is not, if anybody's out here telling you that and they are not actually laying in the hospital bed and they're about to go under and get it done, they're lying. So for me, it comes up a little bit later than sooner. But I find
so
it
like
working in
2 months.
I would say 2 months it does end up coming up. Normally, I'll drag my nephew into it for the topic to come up. Like, this is my nephew. And they're like, oh, or is that your kid? No, but I can't wait to have some one day. Most people I meet, though, they do want kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most guys do.
Have them. Yeah. Yeah, that trust thing is really a big deal. I think that a lot of people struggle with for some reason. You can't just be honest, and it feels good when you have somebody in your life that you can just be a whole open book with. Nothing is scary to tell them. Yeah. Or they're truly not going to judge you. You can lay in the bed with them and tell them things that you've never told anyone. That feels really good. So Other than that, like you said, we don't have to have the type of traditional relationship that everyone says you're supposed to have. Or we might forgive each other for things that people think are unforgivable. What do we have going on? How are you feeling about me? How are you feeling about this? Do you feel like you're needing to cheat? If those conversations were had more regularly, I think people could maybe save their relationships. What went wrong here?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. You gotta have them regularly. Okay, well, guys, let us know what rules you have to being exclusive and like how your conversations typically go. What do you need? What do you want? What was the time that you said that you wanted to be exclusive and you didn't get the reaction that you wanted? Like, tell us about it. Leave either a comment on here or send us an email and let us know how you're feeling. And we can go ahead and move on to Indecisive Diane.
Would you stop thinking about what everyone wants? Stop thinking about what I want, what he wants, what your parents want. What do you want? What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want? What do you want?
Hey ladies, it's me, Indecisive Diane. This week I want you to try a place called Klassy. They have valet, or you can park on the street. It's in Sandy Springs. Super nice. They have a patio. I would go here on a brunch date. If you have kids, you can bring them. I would take the kids during the day. If you go in the evening, just let it be a grown people date. Here's the address. 6125 Roswell Road, Suite 200, Atlanta, Georgia. Bye.
All right, guys, and we are back from Indecisive Diane. Make sure you check out her date suggestions. Now, if you have a spot that you would like us to highlight on Indecisive Diane, send us an email, cocktales@atl@gmail.com. And now it's time for the advice. If you guys have a question that you want to ask us and maybe get our unprofessional opinions, email us, askcocktails@gmail.com, and maybe we will read it on the show. Okay, you ready, Medinah?
yes.
Okay.
My lips are peeling. Don't you hate when your lips peel? And
Mine
it's
are too.
just
That's why I
like,
keep biting them.
oh my God.
I'm like, do I
biting
need more
them.
water?
Like, I have so much Carmex on my lips and I'm biting the Carmex. I'm eating Carmex. Like, ugh. Okay.
I feel like after a flight, it makes my whole face so dry and flaky.
Everything just dry. Like, ugh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you guys. First advice letter. Hi, Kiki and Medinah. I love y'all and the show and listen every week. I've been dating a guy for close to a year. In the beginning, he did tell me I was pretty, beautiful, etc., etc. But I would say over the past few months, the compliments have completely dried up. A few weeks ago, we went out to dinner. I put on a sexy dress, did my hair and makeup, and smelled nice. And this man will not make one comment about how I look. Other dudes were checking me out, but nothing from him. I tell him he looks handsome, fine, smells good, etc. But he won't return it. Sometimes I'll send him a cute selfie or even a nude, and he might say, oh, you look nice, or oh, you look good. But it seems forced. I'm not a girl who is full of herself, but I don't have low self-esteem either. I know I'm good looking. I work out, dress well, and take good care of myself and appearance. So I don't need this man to tell me, but it would be nice to hear it from him. And it does make me feel a way that he doesn't say anything. And it's getting to the point now where I don't want to fuck him anymore because it's a turnoff. What the fuck, y'all? Do you think this is a good reason to break up? Should I ask him why he doesn't give compliments? Thanks in advance, ladies, for your advice. P.S. I'm attaching a picture I sent him just so y'all know I am not ugly.
Thank you for the reference photo.
I archived it. I just want to say this is like a prime example of how we're talking about telling people stuff. I think that's one of those things where you just got to say it. Why are you not complimenting me? I feel like you don't think I'm attractive anymore. That's one of them things you just gotta say it, bro. At least I would have to say it. If I know I look good and you used to tell me I look fine all the time, I'm telling you on the date. So you're not gonna comment? Like you just really haven't been complimenting me at all. I'm feeling real ugly. What is the problem?
I don't even think you have to tell him that you're feeling ugly, but obviously, to me, through this email, it seems like one of your love languages, top priority, is words of affirmation. So that's the easiest way to bring it up. Anytime you're missing something in a relationship and it's like a big deal to you, I think that bringing up love languages is a big thing. And you should also let him know, like, it's not just about how you receive love, it's how you show love. And so it's like, I try to make sure I always compliment you. Because I do love the way that you look. And I've just noticed that you did it at first. And I thought we were on the same page, but now you're not doing it some more. And that's something that I really need to like feel good with this. So either way it goes, however you decide to bring it up to him, you definitely got to tell him.
You have to. Don't just end the relationship and him not know why.
Yeah, I don't think you should break up over it, but you need to talk to him about it. Now, if you talk to him about it and you give him 90 days and no changes have been made, well, yeah, go ahead, because you've already let him know, hey, this is something that I need in this relationship. And he's not doing it. Like, after a while, it's a compliment. You're not asking for a Bentley.
And also be prepared.
That should be doable.
Be prepared for that honesty, because he might hit you back with some, I'm not attracted to you anymore. You took your weave out and it doesn't look good.
Leave his ass if he says some bullshit like that. But yeah. Good luck, girl. Let us know what happens.
Let us know I want to know how this plays out. Can you record the conversation? Secretly.
All right, next one. Hey ladies, I'm stuck in a little pickle. I'm a pretty attractive 22-year-old and I graduated from college last summer. I've moved back to my hometown and recently have been distancing myself from an almost 4-year relationship that has left me confused. But that's another story for another time. I want to reach out and start dating other men since I'm young and I deserve to be treated right. There has been a new guy that has shown interest in me that I've been entertaining. He's a sweetheart, very caring, cute, and a great person to talk to. He also has a nice dick. I've seen pictures. And he even sent me a nut video without me even asking, which my last partner would never do. I really want to take it to the next level with him, but there is one problem. I have HSV-2. I got it from my last partner when I was 18, when he had a cold sore and went down on me. Another reason why I dealt with him as long as I did. He has been my only partner since I got my diagnosis, and I never gave him the skin condition genitally. He only gets cold sores, no blisters on the penis. The stigma is honestly worse than the actual STI. It's basically like acne or a rash. Mine, fortunately, is dormant. I haven't had any problems with it since May 2019. My worry is that the new guy will spaz out on me, not want to deal with me, or think that I'm gross, regardless of my backstory, or the fact that I don't have outbreaks. How do you guys think I should handle this situation and other situations as I continue to date? I know you ladies don't have this problem, but I would love to get an outside view. I really can see something happening with him, but I'm really worried about his reaction, and this will prevent us from getting to know each other more. He also wants to make me squirt. I never have, and he's dedicated to making it happen, and honestly, I would like to see. So, I'll say this. I know some people who have it. I think that I totally understand why you're scared to tell this new guy that. Totally get it. And this is going to sound probably like, here she goes, because I don't have it. So like you said, we don't have this problem, but you do have to tell him. If you do not tell him, that is not okay. So you're dating him, you have to tell him. And unfortunately, a lot of younger people probably won't be as open, but I think as you get older, or maybe just date a little older, people will be more understanding and more open. And you'll probably also meet some people that may be like, hey, I have it too, and I didn't know how to tell you. Like, it's very common. It is a rash. I totally understand where you're coming from, but you have to tell him. And if the person isn't okay with it, then why would you want to stick with them? Like, they may be cool and everything, but why stick with somebody who can't accept all of you? That's a part of who you are now. And it's unfortunate that there's like this huge stigma with it and it's been dormant, but you still have to be honest about it. What do you have to say, Medinah?
I would agree. You got to tell him that's a hard one. And one of the things about fear is fear kind of enhances everything and makes it seem like it's going to be 21 times worse than what it is going to be. And if you tell him, it might not be as bad as you think it is. Like Kiki said, he might say he has it. He might not care. I have a lot of friends who
He might be open to it.
And a lot of niggas that they've told, they be like, they don't care. Way back when we, in the beginning of Cocktales, I shared a cocktail before I was a part of Cocktales, I shared it as a guest with Kiki and Shayla. And then I shared it again when it became just me and Kiki, the couple that I met that wanted me to have a threesome with them. And they told me that they had herpes. And I was like, and then I wanted to know everything about it. What do people know? Because they were swingers. I was like, what is the normal response? And they're like, the normal response is, oh, I have it too. So you got to tell him. You can set it up like a game, or you can tell him in a grown-up way.
A game?
Yeah, you can play a game. Like...
Two truths and a lie.
Yeah.
I have syphilis, chlamydia, and herpes. Oh, wait. Maybe I only told one truth.
You could set it up like a game, and then he might be like, or if he's a serious guy, do it in a serious way, and just let him know and just blurt it out. Because we also did an episode with someone who has herpes. I can't remember the name of the episode, but she talked about how you don't want to.
It was last year.
Yeah,
because it was a virtual episode. Mm-hmm.
You don't want to let the relationship go so long, especially since y'all are talking about sex. And you just don't want to let it go too long to where you do let him go. And he's like, we've been doing this for like months, and when were you going to let me know?
Mm-hmm. Because if you let it go too far, they're gonna be like, "Well, were you ever gonna tell me?" Mm-hmm. So just go ahead and have the conversation, or you can send them the link to this episode and be like, "Fast forward to minute marker 107, and what do you think about this?" Well, I wrote that in.
You could do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could. All right. Well, good luck, girl. Let us know how it goes. And I hope the odds are in your favor. Hopefully he's understanding. And if he's not, you dodged a bullet.
Good luck, girl. Let us know how it goes.
Okay, so now it's time to move on to the cocktails. If you guys would like to share a cocktail on the show, make sure you email us. cocktails.atl@gmail.com, and maybe we will read it on the show.
But if he ain't got a buck, I won't cuff him. Spend 100 on me, it ain't nothing. Run a double D, so stuffing. Back to the point, is it some cash in this place? If it is, I'll probably stick the stats in your face, turn around. Once upon a time, not long ago, I was a hoe, was a hoe, was a hoe.
Maybe we will. Okay, this one says, hey girls, I wanted to share a closure story with an ex of mine. Love you guys, and your pod has helped me through this weird phase of isolation. My ex from Miami, who I was with for a year or so, he was the typical dude who could not get his shit together. I was always trying to help him and root him on. He bounded me from endless careers and always had drama with roommates and bosses. Also, huge daddy issues. Our breakup was dramatic and messy. I went over a year and a half not speaking or communicating. I blocked him on IG. Oh, that's when you know it's real, that IG block. And never thought I would ever hear from him again. I decided to unblock him, and then a month or so later, he slides in my DMs saying how beautiful I looked in a post on IG where he wrote about all the toxic relationships. On IG where I wrote about all the toxic relationships I've been through. He apologized in a weird way, and his messages sounded a little mental, like he was high or something. Cut to a few days later, his cousins are DMing me asking if I had heard from him and that he's been missing. Oh, I instantly thought, wow, he killed himself. Turns out, oh my gosh, I thought that was a thought. No, I instantly thought, wow, he killed himself. Turns out he was drugged out and was found walking on the main road in Miami naked. He was put in the hospital, and when he got out, he reached out to me and told me what happened. Okay, no, she thought he killed himself. There we go.
Okay, I was like, wait.
She thought he killed himself. Turns out, okay, he was walking down the street naked, was put in the hospital. I visited Miami in August, and at this point, I was over a year celibate to cleanse all the toxic sex and relationship trauma. I met up with him, and he was going through the same cycles of work and roommate dramatics, but I didn't care at all. I just wanted to fuck. I clearly told him that I strictly wanted to have sex because it's been so long and I'm sexually deprived. The sex with him in our relationship was the best sex ever, and he ate me out better than anyone in my whole life. That poor dick is something else, right? Cut to us hooking up in Miami in my Airbnb. He comes in literally 30 seconds, and that was the closure I needed. I was like, wow, I don't even consider that sex, and I still consider myself celibate since that sexual experience. He ate me out a little bit, but didn't after we fucked. He showered and literally went to sleep, and in the morning I told him to leave. His reaction, what did I do? What's wrong? I can go grab some coffee. I said to him, I really just want to be alone and enjoy my morning alone. No hug, no nothing. Didn't text him again and blocked him on IG. He can have fun with his 30-second dick and lack of wanting to please me like he used to do. Maybe it's because he wasn't living rent-free in my house. That poor boy dick really comes through when he needs that housing. How rude. Dang.
It reminds me of Full House. What was her name? Michelle Not Michelle. Whichever one. How
Michelle.
Yes.
No, Stephanie.
Michelle. Stephanie, yeah, because it was the middle
Stephanie.
one. How rude with her funny looking self. All right. Yeah, that was a mess. All right. Next cocktail. All right. A few years back, my mom, I read this already, so it does have a better ending, but I will warn you guys, it has a dark note at the front. Okay. A few years back, my mom passed away on Valentine's Day. Every year, I get hella sad around that day, so my therapist suggested that I try making new happy memories to overwrite the bad ones. Great idea. So I decided to go to Houston for Valentine's Day weekend. That's my first trip during this fucking panoramic, Polaroid, parallel, banana bread, or whatever you want to call this fucking quarantine that never ends. Nevertheless, I'm excited as fuck to get out of the house. I book a really nice hotel with a rooftop bar, pack my bags, head down the aisle, and manifest a big dick baller and a good time. I know that's right. BDB energy over here. So I get to the hotel, and due to COVID's funky ass, the rooftop bar was closed, no room service, and a bunch of other bullshit. Now, mind you, it's cold as fuck this weekend, and now I have to leave the hotel to get food. I leave and go to a cool spot the black concierge recommended for dinner. I get to the spot, and it's pretty empty because of the cold weather, but you know what? Fuck it. I'm determined to make new memories and have a good time. I go to the bar to grab a glass of champagne. When I get back, this juicy lipped black man is sitting with I just left. I size him up real quick. Nice lips, nice watch, nice shoes. I say to myself, all right, fuck it. I'm going to do a quick frequency check to see if we are on the same wavelength. I give him a quick jab about his mask, or non-mask rather, to see how COVID safe he was. He fired back at my ass, and the witty banter began. He asked me what I was eating and drinking and got up to go get it from the bar. Y'all, this gloriously melanated specimen stood up and my pants turned into a gush fest. He was 6'5", athletic build, juicy lips, and wondrous eyes I quickly got lost in. Woo! He must have seen me give him the elevator eyes because he turned around and gave me a quick wink and smirk, flashing his gleaming white smile. I'm a sucker for good teeth. We hit it off. A couple bottles of champagne later, the place was closing and I play hard to get. He calls his driver, but I make him call me an Uber. You know, still frequency checking him. He happily obliged. I get back to my hotel and he hit me up making sure I got there and was good. Then it got good. He told me how nice it was to meet each other and suggested we keep the night going at the rooftop bar. I told him how this ghetto-ass hotel closed the rooftop bar due to COVID and the weather, so we couldn't go there. He told me, let me call you right back. 10 minutes later, he calls and tells me to meet him on the rooftop. Now, how the fuck he pulls this off, I don't know, but a bitch ain't asking either. Hold on, next page. I changed into my sexy pajamas, head to the rooftop. This man arranged for the hotel to set up a table with a few bottles of champagne and some chocolate-covered strawberries on the rooftop just for us. My pussy was so soaked. I had to take off my panties. Then I quickly remembered I was on the last day of my fucking period. You know, the point where it's too light for a tampon, but you still need a panty liner. I take this as a sign from God not to be a whore and just leave the panties on. He arrived and the banter started right back up. Y'all, I'm such a sapiosexual. He was smart, fine, and rich. He works in finance and has no problem spending the coin. A few glasses later, we were making out. I'm on top of him, straddling him, coiling tongues, and fusing saliva. 30 minutes of deep stares, neck bites, ass grabs, grinding, moans left my pajamas so drenched, my juices actually seeped through to his pants. As I grind on top, I realize, bitch, you on your period. I tell him that we have to stop because I'm on my period. This tall drink of chocolate milk looked me dead in the eyes and said, I don't mind running a stop sign. Lord, my soul left my body. He flipped me over, pulled down my panties, and pressed his entire face in my pussy. He licked, sipped, slurped, and did tongue twisters on my pussy until I came all over the rooftop bar table. I then decided to return the favor, and backed him onto the floor-to-ceiling windows that overlook the city. Pulled down his pants and put that rock-hard dick in the middle of my esophagus. That's right, she don't choke. A tsunami sucked, spit, and yodeled on that dick with his bare ass pressed against the windows for the city to see. Hell, 3 minutes later, he was about to bust and damn near threw me across the room trying to get me to stop. He came over, picked me up, placed me on top of the bar, and stuck his dick right inside. He started fucking me so good. Then he pulled the choke and stroke move. At this point, I'm so wet, I don't know what juices are flowing. Menstrual juices, sex juices, squirting juices, probably a cocktail of all of the above. All I know is these juices are all over this bar now. He then picks me up and moves me back to the table, froggy fucking me the entire way there. He lays me on the table and starts to slow stroke me in the I'ma get you pregnant position. You know, the one where your legs are damn near behind your head and he's missionary and you're kissing while fucking you. This man is telling me how beautiful I am, how good this pussy is, and how he's hooked already. I'm a sucker for romantic talk, and I bust all over his dick. Now, I can't go out like that. I let this man fuck me like this and have me busting so damn hard. It's my turn now. I climb on top and wrote, I'm going to take this cum all over his dick. Then, for my finishing move, I turned around reverse cowgirl with this fat ass and rode that bull home. I applied all pressure when I started doing the Kegel tricks. Hell, I wasn't a good 10 bounces in before he came all inside of me. No condom. No mask. We just out here wilding. But it was definitely a good ass time. He flew out the next morning but made sure to upgrade my room to a suite for the rest of the weekend and gave me his driver. This was the weekend of the fucking snowstorm too, so good thing I met him because I got stuck in Houston but in a suite and with a driver. He even offered to send his plane for me, but the airports were closed and couldn't get in. Y'all, I think I just met my husband. And if not, at least I was able to make a great memory to overwrite some of the painful ones from this time of the year. Signed, a hoe in Houston. Sent very quickly from my iPhone. Thanks, hoe.
Thank you, hoe from Houston. That quick sex and that I don't care that you're on your period. I'm gonna eat your pussy. Be careful, sis, because you about to be in love.
She said she thinks she met her husband.
I was about to say, when you said
can we come to the wedding?
I was like, wait a minute.
Because I know it's gonna be a
Dallas. Is this 6'8", babe? But
no, she's in
6'5".
Houston.
Okay, because that sounded
and in
just
Houston.
Like, and in Houston. I'm like, okay. If you do get married, can we come to the wedding? We would love to be guests.
Yeah. Girl, and sit us next to his colleagues, okay?
Yeah. And fly us out on his jet.
Okay, I'm going to hop on the jet. All right, well, thank you guys so much for listening again this week.
Y'all.
Please check the description box for links to all of our sponsors and links to anything we're doing, the show, Instagram, social media, all that stuff. And the contacts are in there. Remember, send that advice to askcocktails@gmail.com and then send the cocktails to cocktails.atl@gmail.com. And then you can follow us on Instagram. We are at Cocktails Podcast. I am at Kiki Said So.
And I'm at Coffee Bean Bean.
And until next week, you guys, goodbye.
I'm sorry, but the person you called has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet. Goodbye. Bye. 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 Bye.
Population.
Goodbye. Bye. Bye. Wait on the drive. Bye. 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 Goodbye. Bye. 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 Bye.